All right, so this is the last example that I'm going to do. This one, what we're going to do is we're going to bisect two lines. So we're going to bisect a bisector of segment or line AB and line CD. So we need to start this. By the way, we have our notes here, so I want you to follow along with the notes that I gave you. But you're going to see what's happening here is, let's suppose I just have two random lines here. I'll call this AB. Now these are lines, so they keep extending. And then I have another line here. Let's suppose it's called C and D. So the question is, can I draw a line somewhere that bisects them, meaning it'll always be halfway between them. So as you can see, it's not going to be parallel to either of these two, but it's going to bisect these two, meaning it'll always be the same distance, equidistance from the two lines. And the answer is, of course, yes, yes, yes. So what we're going to do is we've got this, and we want to draw a line between them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw some transversal, some random transversal. So again, notice that a transversal is a line that intersects both lines. So I'm just going to draw this right here, and I'll call this my transversal. It's a line that intersects the two lines. And we're going to call the points of intersection. I'll call this point E, and I'll call this point F. And now what we're going to do is do something that we already know how to do. We are going to find angle bisectors of these four angles. So I have these internal angles. And when I say internal, I want you to know that I'm talking about on the inside. So 1 and 2, angles 3 and 4. You can see that these are on the inside of the two lines. So we're going to take the angle bisectors of these. So a reminder of how we took the angle bisector. All we need to do is take an arc, and again, notice that it doesn't need to be any set distance, so I'm going to use the same for the first two. I'm going to draw this. I'm not very good with my left hand, but I might not be good. But still did okay. Okay, good. Now, again, it doesn't matter. Hold back so you can see that. Get in focus. Why aren't you in focus? There you go. So you can sort of see that arc, I've created that arc, and it intersects both of these two. It doesn't really matter where. But what I want to do now is from these two intersections, this intersection, if I was to find the same distance, and then eventually these two intersections. But I'm going to just take an arc, and again, it doesn't matter the distance, but I just kind of want to grab it. Just want to make sure it's past halfway. So I want to make sure it's just past halfway. You can see that that is past halfway. So from here, I'm going to make an arc. And then the same distance, same arc measure, I make another arc. So you can see that those two arcs intersect here. And if I connect that with E, I've created an angle bisector. So we've created this angle bisector. I've bisected AEF into this line. So we want to do that again. We're going to find four of these. So we're going to find an angle bisector here, 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 and here. So let's now find the angle bisector of this. Again, we've already got the arc there. We just want to make sure this arc is past halfway, and you can see that it is. So I can go arc, come from the second point that I intersected here, a second arc. And we have this intersection here. And if I connect that intersection with the vertex, I've created a second angle bisector. So this arc here, this arc and this arc are equal, this arc and this arc here are equal. So these have got two angle bisectors, so we're halfway there. So we want to find two more angle bisectors. We're going to bisect this angle and bisect this angle. We're going to do it the same way. Start with an arc, and I kind of like this idea of an arc going through both at once, kind of to kill two birds with one stone. Oops. I don't know why. Every once in a while it just stops on me. Okay, so you can see that I just drew this arc through both. Oops. Let's make that a little bit more accurate. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So that you can see that that arc passes through both. I have to do it a couple times so we feel good. All right, so that arc passes through both. So you can see that it intersects here and here with this first angle. So now let's make sure that this arc is past halfway. This is definitely past halfway. So I'm going to start from the first intersection and create an arc up front. And then from the second intersection, an arc here. So I just want you to know that these two arcs here came from here when I went this way and when I went this way. So those two arcs intersect here, this point right here, and I'm going to connect them. Connect that intersection with the vertex. And the most important thing now is, oops, that's not a very good intersection. Very good. There, that's better. The really important piece is this new point right here. I'm going to do this in kind of this funky color just so we can see the difference. But notice that this angle bisector here and this angle bisector here also intersect at this point right here. And that's actually going to be the key point that we're going to need. So let's continue, finish my last angle bisector. So I want to make sure I go past halfway here. So I'm just going to make sure this goes past halfway. I make my arc up front, up top here, and then I come from this other intersecting point here, and I make it here. So you can see those two intersect here. So I'm going to connect those two bisectors, that bisecting point here and this vertex here. I'm going to draw this here, and you can see that, oh look, it intersects right there. So I've got another intersecting point here. Now the critical point, or the critical line that we're interested in, and I'm actually going to do this bigger with the bigger line, is the connecting. When I connect these 2 points, these 2 angle bisector intersections, here and here, this line that's created is in between those 2 lines, in between the 2 lines. It doesn't look that great, but I want you to imagine here, if I was looking at this distance here, this distance here, this distance and this distance are the same. And if I was to do that continuing, if I was to continue this line on, dot, 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 these 2 lines would eventually intersect, and guess what? They'd all intersect together way out there in the past. So, excellent. So this is it. That's the last example I want you to do. For your homework assignment, I want you to do me 2 examples of this, and 2 examples of adding, and 2 examples of subtracting. So those will be your assignments. Good luck. Thank you very much.